We are pleased, as always, to be bringing you coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. Seems like we were just starting training camp, but here we are in October, and off we go on EA Sports. And that's not going to be returned, as so many kicking teams elect to do. This is past the landing zone, and we'll start at the 30. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. First play, and Purdy wants to throw it. That's going to be caught by Samuel. Only a couple for him there on the game's first play, and it's 2nd down. You talk about this Lions defense. They're a tough unit to throw against, currently 4th toughest in the NFL.
And this is where we talk game inside the game. Top 5 passing offense versus top 5 passing defense. I wouldn't be surprised defensively if they change up coverages a bit more than usual to try and combat what they expect to see.
And he'll get about 3 up close to the 35. So it's the big left tackle who gets tagged with a hold.
And sometimes you're actually executing the block well, and he starts to slip off of you, and instinctively you reach out and grab him. And when it's done like that, it's often seen by the official and called.
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. Purdy now to throw. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Oh, I like the calmness of how he played the ball here. No panic in his eyes as that throw arrived. Tracked it from the moment it left the quarterback's hand, and that's just where he needed to be to knock it away.
And I don't think this is the script they had in mind for their opening drive. This is 3rd and long. The slot man in motion right. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He lets it go deep for Olave. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
You get a sense of what this game plan might be. They think they can take a few home run shots against this defense. They tried it there in the opening drive, but that falls incomplete.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. A 41-yard punt there with no return, and the Lions will take over. First run of the game for Jahmyr Gibbs, the Alabama product. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down. This defense for the Niners, they were terrific a week ago in the win over Seattle.
And I'm eager to see the game plan and try to attack them this week, because when you take it away 4 times through interceptions, what do you do now when you go into a game? Do you decide you can't throw the ball? Do you try and run it more? Or do you tell your quarterback, make sure you see your guys open before you deliver?
Off the play fake, here's Hurts. Open man right side is St. Brown. They'll wind up losing a couple yards here on the play. And now that sets up 3rd and 2. That catch now puts him on the doorstep of 500. It's his 499th reception. 2 yards still to go. 3rd down now. Gibbs will try and pick it up. And he will be very close to a 1st down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means 4th down.
I'll bet they thought they had picked that one up because it was a 3rd and 2 call, and they got awfully close. Now we're at 4th and inches. I wonder if they think they're feeling lucky here and maybe want to go pick it up.
So still a scoreless game in the 1st, but they're going to go for this thing on their own side of the field on 4th down. They'll try and run for it. They only needed a few inches, but still some anxious moments there, but they do convert on 4th. Just enough push up front. He only needed about 6 inches. He didn't get a whole lot more than that.
No, but he made sure he got enough so they didn't have to worry about measuring it or making it even close. Ends up picking up a couple of yards in a situation, as you noted, where he only needed inches.
They'll send a receiver in motion left. Hurts. Toward the sideline, intercepted. Picked off by Christian Fulton.
Oh, man, partner, this is something cornerbacks love to do, and that's outthink a quarterback. If you get a sense that they're going to throw a quick out route or a quick hitch, you can just lay back an extra yard or two, but then really put your foot in the turf and drive on the football. And here I think he baited the quarterback into the throw and made it pay off.
Here's Purdy. And quickly into the hands of Robinson. It'll be a gain of 5, and that'll make it 2nd down.
All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam come out of the backfield, it can turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
From the 44-yard line, here's a 2nd and 5. A run for the first time with Bijan Robinson. And he's going to get stopped up quickly. Give him a yard down to the 43. You talk about this Lions defense. They were terrific a week ago in that victory over Tampa Bay, Charles.
Have to admit, I was extremely impressed by what I saw. They ended up getting 4 sacks in the game, stayed in the face of the quarterback the entire time, made it difficult for him to step up and find receivers downfield.
And that's what they told us this week, that pressure on the QB is key.
Oh, that's going to hurt a bit because they needed to come through with a completion there. Now a drive that started with great field position is facing 4th down.
No move to get the offense off the field. They're going on 4th and 5. Purdy will set up to throw it here. Pass to the sideline and pulled in. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. 27 yards, a big play there on 4th.
They accepted the risk, and it was rewarded. What a catch on 4th down to create a 1st down situation. But one more time, what a catch.
And what a catch. It was close, perilously close to a turnover on downs, but picked up the 1st.
How about him getting his feet down, though? That's footwork.
On 1st and 10, it's Robinson. And he'll be stopped after a gain of only a couple down to the 15-yard line.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
This is 2nd and 8. Now Purdy. That's complete right around the 8. And the Niners are looking at 1st and goal as he's tackled all the way down at the 2-yard line.
It's all pretty simple sometimes, isn't it? Go where the defenders are not, and he does exactly that. Makes a nice catch to move the chains. Defense, got to find a better way of accounting for the shorter routes that are being run against them.
From the 2, here's 1st and goal. Robinson is in. Touchdown, 49ers. A solid blocking up front from the guys on the offensive line allowed him to get in for the touchdown.
Yeah, some might say that the guys on the offensive line were in concert. I used to have a coach who called it marrying up, meaning when you get on a guy, you just stay right there, and each guy has his own assignment. That allowed the runner to make the big move towards the end zone.
The 49ers ready to kick it away, and here we go. And no run back forthcoming, so this will come out to the 30. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, wound up leading to a touchdown the other way. How do you approach drive number 2?
Going back to your game plan coming in, everyone has matchups that they like better than others, where they think they have an advantage. Dial up some of those plays. Try and go to those spots and get your offense moving.
Give him 10 yards there, and about by the nose of the football, he's going to have a first down. They'll bring one of the tight ends in motion left. Going back to Gibbs on first down. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be second down. The Lions at 3-1 here through their first 4 games. And they're hitting their stride of late. Winners of 3 of their last 4.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
Here's 2nd and 10. They'll bring a tight end in motion left. Throwing is Hurts. Escaping the pressure right. Now that'll be caught by St. Brown. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. And he has now hit number 500. Charles, that is his 500th NFL career catch.
Definitely worthy of applause, but I remember when 500 meant you were going to the Hall of Fame. Nowadays, in today's football, 500 puts you on the path, a significant number.
Throwing from the gun, it's Hurts. Oh, and his early struggles continue. Here's another one intercepted. It's Jair Brown who's got it. And it's a huge return as he brings us all the way back down to the 15-yard line. So that changes things. You get the interception, and then to boot, a good return tacked on.
And really, it was down to him versus the quarterback on the return, and that's one you would think the defender would win. But a nice job there of seeing the play all the way to the end and making the tackle by the QB.
Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10. Throwing here, Purdy. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
And to put it mildly, this is a tough spot defensively. They have to come right back out and defend their red zone. But how about that good first step towards forcing them to settle for at least 3 points? I think they're also thinking bigger right now. Imagine being able to stop them totally and change the momentum.
Now it's 2nd and 10. Purdy. Olave holds it in. He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
In danger of squandering their great field position as they come up on a 3rd and 7. Purdy looking to throw. And that is incomplete. Oh, did everything but hold on to it. But a nice play defensively, and now it brings up 4th down.
How about this defense? They came up with a couple big plays in this sequence, and none better than the one right there, forcing the incompletion and bringing up 4th down.
Bates' kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So golden field position there squandered as they can muster only a field goal.
Yeah, you were gifted a 1st-and-goal situation, but I have to give credit to the defense. They were brought out in a really tough situation, so give them credit for holding them to 3. That's a pretty nice accomplishment.
And no chance to see a return on the dynamic kickoff. They'll move this out to the 30-yard line. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively. Obviously, 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit like, hey, didn't we practice in that color jersey all week? Not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be stern with him. But whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy.
Second quarter action now from Detroit, and it's the homestanding Lions who have the football as they've got it with a 2nd and 14 upcoming. Hurts sets up to throw it. He's got it complete to Gibbs. And certainly some style points there on the spin. Not a whole lot thereafter, but still a pretty good gain. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down. In search of 4 yards here to pick up the 1st down. Here's Hurts to throw. Fighting to stay upright. Flush to his right. He'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. Hurts dangerous when he runs that football. He's got a 1st.
Evident there that he learned his lesson from the last drive. No way he was going to force a throw that time. When nothing broke open, kept it, and ended up running for a 1st down himself.
They'll look to throw here on 1st down. And Hurts is intercepted, his 3rd of the game. Picked up by Diamador Lenore. Down the sideline he goes. And into the end zone. A pick 6 for the 49er Diaz. Touchdown. It just appeared there that the defense, they had that read from the moment the ball was snapped. And not only did they get the interception, add a nice return on top of it, all the way into the end zone for a defensive touchdown.
Yeah, and the guy who made the play, he gets the points. But it really was a group effort, wasn't it? How about the coaches? They've got to be so excited. All the preparation, time in the film room, it translated into a big play that put points on the board for their team.
And we will not have a return. They'll bring this to the 30. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together. and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily when you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
On 1st and 10, here's Gibbs. And he'll work this forward for about 3 at 2nd down.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
From just shy of midfield, Hurts. And he's got him. Got his man on the end route. Complete. His first catch, good for 9 and a first down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
They made that way too easy for them. No one is supposed to be that open against an NFL defense. Once he caught the ball, there wasn't anybody close enough to stop him, and he was able to continue downfield after making the catch.
1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. Gibbs is in for a Lions touchdown.
Well, this has not been the greatest of first halves to this point. They've been pretty well dominated in all phases of the game, so this was an important drive just to show they can move the football and finish. And now they're on the board here on the touchdown run.
Extra point by Badgley, up and good. And that'll cut the lead to 17-7. So the lead back down to 10 as things get a little more interesting, and the kick is away. And not willing to risk a return. This ball's going to come out to the 30-yard line. The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. Their drive last time, it stalled out. They were forced to take the short field goal.
And the key phrase, you nailed it, forced to, because you know coaches look at these short field goals as a last resort, right? To them, that's not how drives are supposed to end. You're supposed to put 6 on the board. That's a consolation prize, like going to the county fair. You don't get the big stuffed animal on that one, do you?
No, you don't go top shelf. That's bottom shelf material. So the ball moves into Lion territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 41. Robinson up the middle. And he'll bring this one inside the 35. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
Back to throw, Purdy. He completes it to Olave. Touchdown! Chris Olave, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Niners are able to widen their advantage. Great corner route there. Not only able to catch it, turn it upfield, and get into the end zone.
It usually involves a little bit of an extra move, doesn't it? You've got to get them thinking that you're moving to the middle of the field and you're breaking away to that corner. Boy, that was well executed.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And no run back here. That's going to be a touchback, and we'll bring it out to the 30-yard line. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And they'll be looking to build off of a nice drive last time, a drive that really relied on the quarterback.
Making good decisions, distributing the ball well, distributing it accurately.
And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. Sam Laporta, 70 yards. And the Lions are able to strike quickly here as they are in for 6. When they drew that up, I don't think they envisioned it ending in a house call, but he got it and took it all the way home.
Really impressive run after the catch, wasn't it? That was really special by him. But let's face it, in today's NFL, those tight ends are often former wide receivers or maybe even sometimes bigger running backs. They just put them in a position to get a great matchup and make plays like that.
So the lead back down to 10 as things get a little more interesting, and the kick is away. And no run back forthcoming, so this will come out to the 30. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. We have seen a lot of points here in this quarter. For us up here in the booth, it's been fun to watch. The defensive coordinators probably scratching their heads.
Yeah, they're going a little bit crazy right now, but let's face it, all of our friends who play fantasy, they're enjoying the heck out of this show because most of them are creating and getting a bunch of points.
Yeah, points certainly not at a premium here. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. He's got the hook up downfield to Samuel. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. A big pickup of 38. A reminder that when halftime rolls around, Jonathan Coachman will have all the highlights and analysis of this first half of play from our studios in Orlando. Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. To the sideline, and that is a heck of a catch as he was able to get both feet in. Give him back-to-back catches now. And I believe they buzzed down. They're going to take another look at this play with all reviews coming from the replay official here in the final 2 minutes of the half. So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. Back to throw. Purdy. Complete to Olave on the out route. And the 49ers are going to have a 1st and goal coming up as the tackle made at the 3-yard line.
Just picking up yardage in bunches here these last few plays. They have moved right down the field, and just like that, they're going to be set up with a 1st and goal.
A chance to really cap off a big first half here as they come up on 1st and goal. You see Purdy, he's going to shift them around. Robinson. Fighting, but he won't get too far. Maybe a yard, that's all, down to the 2. Only a yard that time, 2nd and goal.
Good work there, holding them out on 1st down, and this is going to be a battle down here on the goal line. Can they hold their ground for 2, maybe even 3 more plays?
From the 2 now, 2nd and goal. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. It's caught on the right side by Robinson. Touchdown 49ers.
Just give me my money.
Bijan
Just give me my
Robinson.
money.
He scored on the ground and through the air. And the Niners add 6 to their lead. The call is to go for 1 and kick the extra point. And that'll make this a 3-score game as the lead moves to 17. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And no chance to see a return on the dynamic kickoff. They'll move this out to the 30-yard line. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. Well, partner, coaches always say that every play is designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes that's not really true, but last drive, that was the case. One play to get into the end zone, and now they'll try to duplicate that success here.
And it's rare for those moments to happen. Incredible when they do. And you saw the celebration. Pure, unbridled joy after that one.
Flushed out right. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. They got 18 yards out of that one, and it gets them a new set of downs. First and 10 here. If they could just get 3 out of this, there's something about narrowing it to a 2-score game at half that makes it feel like much less of an obstacle. A little short pass here taken in by Laporta. The Lions now going to use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds to go in the first half. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
2nd and 5. And they'll send the tight end in motion here. Play action. Here's Hurts. Steps away. That pass caught. It's Williams. And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10. Good yardage after the catch as that play good for 30 and a first.
And this offense needed something to try and seize the momentum a little bit. That might have been exactly what they needed. Now they have a chance to go downfield and score and cut into the lead.
Again, he'll drop to throw. Rolling to... And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Nick Bosa, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Steps away to his left. And he just chucked that one out of bounds, out of everyone's reach. Maybe a wise call not to take a sack in this part of the field. It brings up 3rd down. Now with 5 seconds left, not really enough time to run another play and then stop it. So on comes the field goal unit. And now they'll take a timeout defensively. After the 2nd down play, they burn the timeout, making him sweat out the final few ticks here in the 2nd quarter. Badgley able to knock this one through, and that will close the gap down to 14. Well, not the best first half facing this deficit, but at least they did put 3 on the board before half.
Yeah, it's a little bit like that stormy, cloudy day, and the sun peeks through just for a second. They saw the sun there. They're hoping to see a little bit more of it in the 2nd half.
So 2 quarters down, 2 remain. Charles and I return after the break.
Lions 17.
Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gordon. It'll be Lions football to start the 2nd half, and they trail here as we get back underway on EA Sports. And no return forthcoming. It'll be a touchback, and the 3rd quarter will start from the 30. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive.
This offense, Charles, had a strong first half throwing the football, at least in terms of yardage, but that hasn't translated so far on the scoreboard as they begin the third quarter here, trailing and looking for a little momentum.
Yeah, you're right about that because, let's face it, in the first half, most of their focus was in the passing game. And to their credit, resulted in a healthy amount of yardage. So I would think that at halftime, they're going to anticipate that defense loosening up a little bit to try and cover the passing lanes. They've got to get the running game going, and there should be some gaps to run through now.
They go play action with Hurts. And that'll be off the mark, too far out in front, and it's incomplete.
Zone coverage there, and they were playing deep. That makes it obviously a little bit harder to run by guys. And that time, there was not much of a window to get the ball in there, and it winds up incomplete.
Now a give to Gibbs, running left. And not much there at all. Maybe a yard up to the 43.
He really hasn't been able to get on track running the football, averaging less than 4 yards a carry.
Yeah, I think that they're going to enjoy the film session because all the defenders are filling their proper gaps on just about every play. And you know what they always say for a defensive coach? When I click off this film, I better see 11 jerseys in the picture going after the ball carrier.
From the gun, it's Hurts. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And this will move the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the 49ers' 34-yard line. That third down conversion good for 23. With that grab, he now sits at 200 for his career, and maybe more importantly, a first down. In motion left goes a tight end. Hurts. Eluding the pressure right. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
I'm sure it was a tough halftime trying to figure out some strategy to get things going, trailing by a lot when they went into the locker room. He's just trying every avenue to spark his team here to begin the third quarter. Not a lot going on that play, though.
To throw on 2nd and 10. Hurts. Gets this into the hands of N'Keal Harry. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. He got 29 yards that time.
You have to ask the question, where was the help? Because it's a little surprising to me that he'd find that much room to run this close to the end zone. He doesn't quite get there, but he sets his guys up with a 1st and goal.
1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. Off the play fake, here's Hurts. He'll buy some time right. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Well, the connection they've had has been excellent today, but not on that snap. I think he was asking just a little too much as he extended that play, hoping for one more completion with him.
The line of scrimmage, once again, the 5 as they get ready for 2nd and goal. Read option, this is Gibbs. And he will push his way forward down to about the 3-yard line. Call it a gain of a yard as they get a little bit closer here. It's 3rd and goal.
Well, sometimes I get caught in hyperbole, but I think they desperately need to punch this one in. They're running out of time.
Yeah, 2-score game, second half, you're down here. This is the time to put it in the end zone.
And not going to get much better than this for an opportunity.
The San Francisco defense trying to hold tough again. This is 3rd and goal. They'll set up a throw. He's got his man. It's caught for a Lion touchdown. Amon-Ra St. Brown halfway to 100 now with Touchdown number 50. And the Lions are back within a score. And now before we get to the extra point, remember all touchdowns do have to be confirmed by the replay official. So they called it a touchdown originally, and this will stay a touchdown after the video review, so they had it right. Extra point by Badgley, up and good. And that'll cut the lead down to a touchdown. This game back within a touchdown now as the kickoff's away. And we will not have a return. They'll bring this to the 30. The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. But Charles, they still have the lead despite their defense giving up a touchdown on the previous possession. And even though they have that lead, it feels like a back-and-forth ball game where to try to get momentum back, maybe they need at least 3 here on this drive.
I think you're right about that, Brandon, because your game plan doesn't change. But I do believe your urgency does because of the last score that went against your team. So what you want to do now is have your own drive and try and make sure that that momentum stays in your camp.
2nd and 9. Out of the gun, Purdy. Short throw caught by Pitts. Give him a gain of 5 on the completion. And now it's 3rd and 4.
Let's not quibble about the game there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now gives him a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
Slot man moves right. Purdy from the gun on 3rd down. And he'll be taken down, but he does have 1st down yardage. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size, can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a 1st down.
Here's Purdy. The pass caught by Olave. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. Good work after the catch. Going to net him 23 and a 1st.
This offensive game plan has just been sensational. I mean, when you think about all the different ways they've gotten their receivers open so far, it's really been impressive. Scheme, design, execution.
Oh, that's deep for Duvernay. Well, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. And the Lions will take over here at their own 14-yard line. So this offense moving the ball well, trying to open up a 2-score lead here in the 3rd quarter, but now potentially a play that could have big ramifications.
Yeah, you've driven the ball down the field. Things are looking up, but it takes just one bad decision to throw things off the rails.
The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. A long drive last time out for this offense, Charles. If you remember, they started basically in the shadows of their own end zone, marched it down the field, and a lot of that was through the passing game.
And partner, as a former defensive back, I'm having almost a physical reaction watching what's happening right now. But let's give credit where it's due because they've done an excellent job moving the ball through the air. Secondary getting picked apart pass by pass. Obviously, they need to make some adjustments there on the back end.
Yeah, because offensively, we know that they're not going to be shy about throwing that football. So from inside Niner territory now, this is 1st and 10 at the 36. In motion left here, one of their tight ends. Gibbs straight ahead. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground, but I think the play gets made by the defensive front because if they can't get upfield, Their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
Throwing is Hurts. A little short pass here taken in by Laporta.
And this will move the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the 49ers 21. That'll put him up over 160 yards receiving now for the game. They can't seem to stop it. They go play action here on first down. On the move to his left. Throw left side complete. That's Gibbs. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. A lot of effort there for just a 3-yard gain, and now second down. They'll drop to throw.
That's complete to Laporta.
And he takes this one in for the Lions touchdown.
Sam Laporta, his second touchdown of the game, his third on the year. And the Lions are an extra point away from evening this one up. So they get their tight end away from the line to the outside, and he works his way in for 6.
Tight ends are not just blockers anymore. I don't know how many more times we need examples, but here's a great one. Gets to the outside, they give him the ball pretty quickly, and they trust him to get those extra yards, and boy, did he come through, bowling his way into the end zone after the nice catch.
And not willing to risk a return, this ball's going to come out to the 30-yard line.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway.
We got a brand new ball game, all even after that last touchdown, so every drive now becoming a little more critical here in the second half.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of until they stop him, why not go back to it? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
Ball on the 36 now. Here's a 2nd and 4. Now Purdy. Again, he'll find Samuel for the completion. And they're able to work this across midfield to the 48. He has a first down, and that catch will also put him over 100 yards receiving now on the afternoon. Throwing here, Purdy. Oh, into a sea of defenders and intercepted. And the Lions are going to take over a couple of yards shy of midfield.
So rare to see any quarterback toss back-to-back interceptions in the NFL, regardless of status or experience. Whether it's him personally or just the offensive game plan, I think this defense is reading something out there, and they're holding the upper hand.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. They start near midfield following the interception as they begin 1st and 10. Drive starts with a run from Gibbs.
And he's got this one across midfield into 49er territory.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
Second and 6.
Another run for Gibbs here. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. 50 yards rushing for him in the ball game now on 14 carries.
That's a nice run right there, able to get to the outside. And so many times defenses say, okay, we got you hemmed in. But if you're running the football, at least you know where everyone is coming from. You don't have to worry about the backside at all. That allows you to run with a little bit more confidence as you traverse down the field.
And off to Gibbs, headed right here. Only a yard on the gain there as time will run out on this third quarter of play. 3 quarters in the books. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Here now, 2nd and 9 from the 39-yard line. Hurts sets up to throw it. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Fred Warner. And the 49ers are going to take over a couple of yards shy of midfield. Well, we say it often, Charles, but not all interceptions are created equally, and that is a big one here in a tie ball game in the 4th quarter.
And, Brandon, when games are this close, it usually comes down to the team making the fewest mistakes, and that was one of our mantras back at Tennessee. Coach Mears used to say all the time, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. You've got to cut those down to give yourself an opportunity.
The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. And the question, can they turn that interception into points? A tie game for the moment in the 4th quarter. Now this one taken in by Olave. And a pretty little juke move there on a nice gain. That one good for 10 yards. And that'll leave him with a second and just a few inches left.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
A give left side to Robinson. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up 3rd down.
I think it's pretty evident we can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. Shotgun now with Purdy. And this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on 3rd down as that was not an easy one to hold on to.
This is certainly a team that has proven it likes to target its backs through the air, and defensively, they were aware of that and certainly were prepared on that throw.
Tie game, 4th quarter, and they're going for this thing on 4th down. Purdy from the gun. He's going to get that to his running back out of the backfield. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. 27 yards, a big play there on 4th.
And, partner, in a tie game in the 4th quarter, you and I both know in the NFL, that's when you lean on your stars, and he came through with a nice catch right there.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this 2nd half. Here's 1st and 10. Purdy looking to throw. That's taken in by Duvernay. So the completion good for 7 there, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
But right there, he rose to the occasion late in a close game.
It's something he thought about, dreamed about, and worked on throughout his career. Because in these types of situations, he wasn't going to allow extra coverage to keep him from getting the football.
And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. 7 yards on the pickup there, and now they'll have it 1st and goal.
Well, they've certainly been successful throwing it around in this game, and that's allowed them to move the ball on offense. But I've got to tell you, to watch them run the football and successfully, I'm not taking sides, but to see the ball in a running back's hands, oh, that's football for me.
Dowdle will score. Touchdown, 49ers.
Give me my money. Give me my money.
For the touchdown, sort of a lost art, isn't it?
It really is, but sometimes when you're able to bring it back and use it against other teams, they're not prepared for it. They haven't seen it in a while, and now you gain an advantage, and we just saw that advantage result in a touchdown.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And no run back here. That's going to be a touchback, and we'll bring it out to the 30-yard line. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. And now, after the touchdown a moment ago, they work from behind in a 7-point game in this fourth quarter. Plenty of time on the clock. And he's going to have the hook up here with Herring. And he's going to be out up around the 45-yard line. They may want to go back to that one. First play of the drive, good for 15 and a first down.
I like the design that we're seeing right there. This is what they need. Down by a touchdown here in the fourth. They just need to keep working their way downfield. And when they see openings, take their shots.
Here's Hurts to throw. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. Well, we've talked about it, CD, but it bears repeating. They are struggling to throw the football. All the interceptions and more incompletions. It just doesn't look like things are in sync out there.
I would agree with that, and it's not a good day when you feel like an incomplete pass is almost a win for you because it wasn't intercepted. And I think the receivers now, when they're running their routes, they want to catch the ball, but they also want to make sure that the defenders don't take it away.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11.
There's no question that coming into this game, this defense is pretty vocal about its desire to take this running back out of his game, and all that pregame wolfing has turned into results.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. And he is caught. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. His big day receiving just keeps getting bigger. He's over 200 yards now on the afternoon. The drive continues as they search for a tying touchdown. Here's 1st and 10. They'll bring a tight end in motion right. Play action. Here's Hurts. They'll roll him out right. Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call. So that one a hold, right guard.
And you understand why offensive and defensive linemen probably go to martial arts schools and work on their hands so often, because that can be the make or break difference on a play. This time he had to grab a jersey in order to make the play happen. Got caught for the penalty.
It's a big play, yet amazingly, because of how far they had to go, they're still looking at a 2nd down here.
With that last completion, CD's now over 400 yards passing in the game, and quite a few of those have come via some pretty big strikes downfield. Certainly not afraid to challenge this secondary, and it's been successful.
I like your observation there, partner, because I agree. This is a group more than capable of torching a secondary any week, as evidenced by their combined stat line here. And in the time we have remaining, wouldn't shock me at all to see them take another deep shot.
Open man right side is St. Brown. And St. Brown going to have the Lions first down as he'll get this down to the 23.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before you get a good head of steam going.
4th quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a 1-score game.
Plenty of time. All 3 timeouts still remain. Here's 1st and 10 now.
Back to throw again. That's going to be caught. Touchdown. Sam Laporta, 23 yards for the touchdown. And the Lions are an extra point away from tying this game here in the final minutes. Well, the hard part's done. Now they just need to split the post, tie it up, but then their defense is going to have to hold up to send it to overtime.
Yeah, no matter what. I know there's an inclination in it when you have momentum to go for two here, but if you miss it, you don't give your defense a chance at all.
Plus, it's been a good game. I want to see overtime. I'm selfish.
You obviously don't have a flight to catch.
Tomorrow, the extra point, a vital one, and he gets it to go. And, partner, we've got a tie game here in the fourth. Now this one setting up for a great finish. All tied in the fourth as the kick's away. And no run back forthcoming, so this will come out to the 30. This is 1st and 10. Here's Purdy. He's got his target. It's Olave. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
Not in a position where they absolutely have to rush right now, but they definitely have to pick up the tempo a bit.
Purdy to throw. That's Olave bringing in another one.
That gets them the first down, but they've still got to move quickly here.
Number 12, Chris Olave. A 5-yard gain on the play. And the 49er first down.
Here's 1st down. Throwing, Purdy. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. And Daniil Hunter, he's the one who gets in there and brings him down to the ground. But they'll come up now. This is 2nd and long. To throw is Purdy. That's going to be caught by Pitts. Look at the big fella go.
The Lions will use the first of their timeouts as the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in quarter number 4.
Now 1st and goal. Purdy to throw.
Escaping the pressure right. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Not the 1st and goal play they drew up. Multiple defenders in to bring him down to the ground. 2nd and goal from the 6 this time. On the run, it's Dowdle. And he's going to be hemmed in and brought down right at the line of scrimmage. And we are set for a great finish as that timeout comes in with 2 seconds to go in this football game. And now it all rests on the right foot of their kicker. 2 seconds on the clock, this for the win. And we will get a timeout with 2 ticks left. So on is their kicker, and it's down to this. He made his only attempt earlier. This for the win. And it is good. He splits the uprights on the chip shot. And Union Street will be hopping tonight. The 49ers have won it.
Charles, normally when you see a group score this many points, it's a complete blowout. But instead, they needed every single one of those in this close, high-scoring affair.
And, Brandon, I'm still on the edge of my seat after that one because when you have that much scoring and it still comes down to a one-possession game at the end, That's not something we see very often. In this case, these offenses, they brought it. The defenses, they're going to need some work going forward.
So for the 49ers, their strong September has carried over to October as they move to 5-0. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for the Lions, the loss will move them back to 3-2 on the year. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. Here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying so long, everybody.
Like I'm racing on a fast track, trying to get my life mapped. I'm right back to the same place that I started at. Me, myself, and I, but got the most high traveling with me. Ancestors taught me plenty of things to keep me sane in this strange world that starts off innocent, but soul catches blemish and stray bullets from others still catching whoopings. Ain't thinking before they pull it. Make sure you keep on pushing and looking for another way out. Maybe the scenic route, taking your time, cause you trust the divine to supply all of your needs, but still you must proceed to do what you need to. That's really if you truly do have faith. Face the truth, don't run away. No more tomorrow, start today. It's never promised anyway. I'm forced in dragon's fire, so you know I'm slaying every day with no trace. A carbon copy, carved a God's body. Can't no weapon stop me from holding my head up high.